G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because the Highlanders has just, put away a win over the Druas in Dunedin tonight. And this was, this was a game I thought the Druas definitely had an opportunity to win this one. It started off with the Highlanders pretty much one-sided affair, just pinning the Druas down inside their own half with a lot of kicking game. Like both teams were doing a lot of kicking, and in the first half, the Highlanders just was very successfully able to just either via grubber kick or a little chip behind, just pinging the Druas inside their own 22. And I think the Druas had their game plan to play up and under, like to play the up and under style of kicking game. Because they were pinged constantly inside their own 22, they were left doing these up and unders essentially from inside their own 22 to the 40-meter line to their own 40-meter line, right? And that is just really left them like constantly trying to get out of their own half with this really inefficient kicking in the first half, and resulting in the Highlanders pretty much just dominating the first half with just some clever kicking. The Highlanders was able to swing the ball from both sides of the field quite efficiently and just chip behind to find those space with just pretty fast like ball moving around the park, and it was looking pretty bad for the Druas. And then the second half, the Druas came out, changed up some of their strategies, start doing a pretty similar style to the Highlanders actually. Initially, they would start going wide and a little chip kick behind as they find the space out wide to kind of get themselves further into the Highlanders territory. And both teams basically swung for the fences for about 25 minutes before the Highlanders was able to wrestle back the Fijian Drua momentum to get themselves in front to win the match. The scoreboard did not do the Druas' performance justice. This was a very good performance by the Druas, and I think the Highlanders was it was a very entertaining game, but I think the Highlanders just was able to just I think the Druas try to play the style that Highlanders wanted to play, and eventually Highlanders did have a little bit of edge in that game plan, and that was the difference in the end. Not really the scoreboard. It wasn't actually that big of a difference, but it's actually just like a slight edge that was kind of blown out towards the end of the game a little bit. So as I've been looking at some of these games recently, the Druas, obviously, if you're an Drua fan, I wouldn't be surprised that you're not happy about the performance of the team. And I've been looking at some of the footage from the Druas performances. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I think I found something that may summarizes the overall arching issue of the Druas team in 2025. And this is something that's different from how they used to play even last season for the Druas. And I think this movie is pretty much what I think is maybe something is probably the issue that I think the change in style of the Druas that has led to them to a little bit to the recent results. So here's something, right? The Druas going wide, beating the rush defense really well done, plenty of depth and options for the ball for the ball carrier, and now they're creating space. Right now there's an space out wide. Now there's potential for a score. And I just want to watch. So, traditionally, this will be pretty much the perfect setup for an Enduro try, right? You've got 1, 2 players, 3 players flooding this area. Some nice offloads between the players. It's try time, right? Now, this is what happened in this situation here. The Enduro player, this guy kind of overran a little bit. He decided to kick the ball, which is kind of like the strategy they're transitioning into. But I just didn't think this was necessary because he kicked the ball forward, right? Which is, I guess, it's actually okay. But he kicked the ball forward. He's the only one chasing the kick. These guys just went, not really my job anymore. And I'm not like flaming any of these guys. Because the style that the Fijians normally play is that this guy would have taken on both of these defenders and got the offload, and these two guys would work with each other, following for the try. This kick through looked like neither of these guys were actually expecting it. That's what it looked like to me. Not because these guys are lazy, didn't want chance, because they were like, okay, I didn't expect that. That's the kind of reaction I see here, and they're just kind of like, okay, I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be doing. I'm just, yeah, like, should they be following up? It's that kind of reaction, like, that they're in position to receive the offload. I ready to put, and then the ball was kicked away, and they're just kind of like, I guess we just not, yeah, they kind of just look a little bit lost there to me, and I think that is maybe some of the issues that the Endurers are having, that's the change of the way the style, that the shift of the style that they've changed from last year to this year. That's probably something that, yeah, not sure what's going on there. Because to me, this would have been like the perfect, like, perfect setup for a classic enduro try. You know, uses that size and power to get over the defenders, punch, get yourself through, and then offload, and then same thing, run into defenders, get yourself through, offload, and it's try time with, three players working in proximity to each other. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts if you think that's the issue for the Endurers. That's kind of like my assessment of the change in style of the Enduro Rugby. Maybe this is a new style that's going to work out better for them in the long run. I'm not saying that this is like a wrong thing to do. The style, it definitely works, and it's worked the Highlanders tonight, but it's just something that the Endurers, it's a transition that Endurers going through, and it's something that in my opinion, I think that the Fijian has a competitive advantage in that post contact offload style instead of this kicking and chasing style that they play tonight. That is my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on the change of style of Endurance Rugby. Now let's have a look at the match stats of the game. 7 tries to the Highlanders, to the Endurance 3. 370 run meters to the Highlanders, to the 539 run meters for the Endurance. A lot of that came in the second half of the Endurance. 10 turnovers considered the Highlanders, 17 for the Fijian Endurance. Again, the breakdown wasn't quite clean for the Endurance throughout the game. The Highlanders had to do a lot of defense, 213 tackles, made 40 missed tackles. There was a lot of scrambling defense from the Highlanders. Like I said, when the Endurance run the ball, they were breaking through the tackles, and they were successful in those offloads, in those post contact meter gains and post contact offload like line breaks. But just, yeah, like, just some of the kicking, I'm just questioning if it was necessary at all. For the Endurance, 69 tackles made out of 22 missed tackles, 39 kicks in play for the Highlanders. Very high. I think that might be the highest number we've seen this season. And Highlanders, in previous seasons has done a lot of kicking. So under Jamie Joseph, this is definitely the highest I've seen so far this season. 27 for the Endurance. Also quite high in terms of kicking amount as well. 2 missed conversions, 3 missed conversions for the Highlanders, and 2 missed conversions for the Endurance. Kick meters from hands, 1,127. That's probably, I think that's definitely the highest kick meters I've seen this season. Even 728 is pretty high end in terms of the kick meters in Super Rugby so far. 7 lineouts play for the Highlanders, 3 lost. 16 lineouts play for the Endurance, 3 lost as well. So Endurance has much better completion rate there. 2 scrum loss for the Highlanders. Even with Ethan de Groot, the Endurance was putting some pretty good pressure there, and really, really nice work there, getting those 2 scrums turnovers. Endurance only had 2 scrums themselves, and no scrums lost. 8 penalties conceded for the Highlanders due to a lot of the pressure for the Endurance as well. Only 6 penalties considered for the Endurance and 1 yellow card. I think that was a deliberate knock on for the Endurance for the yellow card. But yeah, it is what it is. I thought that was a fair call. Nick Berry, not the most clinical. I think there was a few things where overall I think it's okay. I think it's probably about, like, I really can't complain too much in terms of his performance. I think there was probably a couple forward passes that was missed. But yeah, some of the camera angles, hard to tell. It looked like there were some late hits on the fields that wasn't looked at, especially later in the game. But I think the TMO probably has more to do with that. That Nick, and the style of Nick Berry is a bit like, if it's not too much, let's just play on with it. I think there was one knocked the ball out bound by Armstrong Ravola. looked like it could have been a penalty try. It looked like he just swiped the ball out when it was bouncing into the goal line with, I think it was Nipkins there to chase it down. And yeah, maybe that should have been a penalty try, or at least looked at, or TMO review. Nick Berry wasn't having any of it. So yeah, with that being said, let's go through some of the game tonight. I thought, by the way, the man of match for me was Nipkins. Well, how do you say his name? It's a really long name. Ratumai Tavuki Nipkins. He was absolutely outstanding for the Highlanders tonight. Like, absolutely everywhere. A lot of tries he was involved in setting up as well. Just absolutely, yeah, man of match for me tonight. So let's quickly go through the recap of the game. 2 minutes in, actually 1 minute in, there was some midfield pressure from the Highlanders. The spread ball out wide. Some nice heads up rugby, and Narikid popped the ball out to the corner to Philemon. The new guy gets in for the try into the corner, 5 points to nil. 12 minutes into the game, a nice little kick and chase from the halfback from the Highlanders, and there was a poor return kick from the Drua. I think, who was it? The fullback. What's his name? Caleb Muntz. So it was a poor return kick. So then Highlanders had like a line out inside of 22, and then went for the they just went for the more, and then Fakatava, just a bit of a heads up rugby, ran through the gap, nice offload to Nariki, got really close, and the ball came out, spread out wide again, and the new guy, Philemon, gets the ball out wide through the gap, ran the ball under the post, 12 points to nil for the Highlanders. And then the game kind of just settled down a little bit. There were some penalties of Highlanders that didn't kick for the goals, which was really good. The Enduros kicked their first goal about 37 minutes in. They were under the pumps, they weren't able to get out of their 22 at all. They kicked 3 points there. 12 points to 3. 40 minutes of the game just before half time. I think the Enduros really wanted to get out of the half without conceding any more points. Highlanders gets another try on the board. This was Umanga Jensen. Again, just pressure. And then, the Enduros just, got run through for a try. 17 points to 3. Halftime, after halftime, the Enduros came out with a lot more energy, clearly had a chat, and maybe changed up some of the kicking style. Right from the kickoff, there was a box kick out from the Highlanders. It went to the number 6 from the Enduros, and then he just ran into the defenders and offload to Rabutu, who ran through and bumped up 2 defenders, went in for the try. 17 points to 8, and that's the style. That's what I mean. Like, if you don't kick the ball away, you just make those post-contact offloads. It's really works out much better for the Enduros there. Immediately here, 17 points to 8. 44 minutes of the game, the Highlanders gets another penalty for themselves. Immediately strikes back. They went for the more, went for the line out, the bread and butter, and the more. It looked like it was broken up, but the referee said it was one more, and then he went through for the try. 24 points to 18. 47 minutes into the game, the Enduros was doing some center field pressure. They was going to the left and quickly switch back to the right hand side. Just a couple of nice, again, post contact offloads. And Kuravoli goes in for the try, 24 points to 15. 51 minutes into the game, there was some nice wide play from the Drua once again. The ball went out to the sideline to Marcy. He kicked the ball behind, got the bounce, and went in for the try. They did this a number of times. They didn't get the bounce, but Marcy did get the bounce here. I think, was it Marcy? I'm pretty sure it was Marcy, but it was, Lugani Marcy gets the bounce, and he went in for the try. 24 points to 22, and suddenly it's looking like Enduros could potentially get an upset here. Really start partying on a lot of pressure. 58 minutes, Kuravoli, deliberate knock on, really hurt them. There was like a really nice break from the Highlanders from counter attack. And then after this yellow card, Highlanders went for the more, and then Taylor ran the ball through for the try. 31 points to 22. 74 minutes of the game, another chip over from Highlanders. They've been doing this all game. Chip over the chase. Talea catches the ball on the full, and then again linked up with Nipkins, and then nice little offload to back to Talea for the try. 36 points to 20, and finally 80 minutes. The Druas had a penalty that went for the line out. The line out was lost. Quick counter attack went out wide to Gilbert, and Gilbert just nice little pass between him and Nipkins, and then Gilbert gets the ball eventually, went over for the try. 43 points to 22, final score. And yeah, let me know your thoughts about the Drua, the style they play. I think that they're moving away from their style, and there's nothing wrong with trying out new ways of playing, new game plans. But I think that when the game gets tough, I think in my opinion, perfecting one style is better than being jack of all trades of a number of different kicking strategies and play styles. I think the one style that the Druas has a definite advantage on is the post contact offloads, and that's the style I think the Druas should go back to. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later tomorrow, possibly for the Reds versus Brumbies game, because I have to wake up early for work. Thanks for watching. Cheers.